first I start with removing the batteries. And there's a 5/8 nut right here, a 5/8 nut here, and the batteries are 1/2 inch nuts. On those I just take all the wires off of the battery, and then this has the watering system in it, so I pulled that off. Started to make the video after I started that step, but I just wanted to show you that. I use this black bungee cord, got hooks on each end to lock into these batteries, pick them up. Just makes it easier, give me a handle to get them out of the cart. And I just start picking them up one at a time. Only took a couple minutes, but we got all of them out of there, and you can see how filthy it is in there. Because things are dirty, and all the lead or the acid gets down in there and corrodes the nuts and bolts and stuff that are in there. But I should mention the cart is in tow mode. There you go, batteries are gone. So if I was just going to convert to lithium, I could pretty much just clean this up and start right here and start removing the charging adapter there, and it goes back to the controller. But this one is being built for a friend, so it's going to get a whole revamp. We're going to take and put a new body on it, and new seats and rear seat and lights and all that stuff. So that's what I do. And when I'm starting to work on one of these, I just tear it all the way down. So this is going to come off, windshield's coming off, and I'll take you through step by step what I do. Windshield is only held on by 2 bolts right here, and that's 10 millimeter, and that's 10 millimeter, so I use a socket. I already took this one out. You take this off, and then these clip on here, and they just pop right off. So I'll be the windshield remover. Simple, 2 bolts, windshield's gone. Next, I'm going to come back around here and take the top off. I like to do that. Even if I'm just working on one, it just lets a lot more light into the cart. But we're going to lose this whole section back here because we're putting a back seat on it. So it's really, this is a 10 millimeter bolt here. There is another 10 millimeter bolt there. And then the seat back actually comes off 10 millimeter there and 10 millimeter there. So I'm going to take the seat off, and I'll be back on it. Now those 2 10 millimeter bolts are out of the seat, and it basically just leans forward. Comes right off. Hooks in here with these 2 little tabs on that. And I don't know, I guess it just kind of gets stuck. You just give it a little force and it pops right off. This is what they call the sweater basket. It's also the seat back. You're just going to take these 4 bolts out here. Those are 10 millimeter. Save those because they're going to go in your seat kit. This here is where the cooler hangs on. There's 2 torch bolts, or torch screws in there, and those have to come out because they kind of connect inside. And then down in here, right there, that is a long torch head screw with an 8 millimeter head on it, and there's one on each side, and those kind of hold the sweater basket to the brackets that are underneath here. So we'll be taking all of those out. Oh, this one does have the club card on it, and they really just clip on. A little clip there, a little clip there, and you just kind of got to roll them around, work that off to get that loose. And then the Torx head here with a 1/2 inch nut on the back side of it, and the roof will lift off the back. So I got this loose now. It's loose from the top, loose from the bottom. You can see that thing just kind of twists off of there. The screws do have to come out of this. There's some brackets underneath here that these slide down into, which you'll see when I get it off. It's kind of a little bit tricky to get it off with the top still on there, but I don't know, I'm being lazy right now and haven't taken the bolts off the front, so I'm just going to lift it straight off of there. All right, now that that's off, you see these 2 brackets here that go underneath the sweater basket, and they each just have one 10 millimeter bolt in it here. There's a little pin under there that lines it up, And then this one, the bolt already came out of, and so did that one there when you took it off of the top. But these have to come off. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take this body off the back. There's a couple clips like right here, one there and one over there. And you gotta take these 4 screws out here, or Torx head. And then basically you have to remove the F&R switch as well. So I'll be showing you that in just a second. Forward is blue, middle is orange, reverse is brown. So the F&R switch is removed and the wires are out of the way, and basically the body just lifts off of here. Start pulling it up like that. You can hear this little pop back here with a little clip. And then pull up on this side. And really, just one-handed, you can take this plastic body off here. You can see all the dirt that gets trapped underneath the body. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this underbody off. This one actually has a little tow hook thing on it. So there's some extra Torx head screws here. But normally it's just this one, and then there's one up here, and one over here. And those come out, and then the underbody just kind of wiggles out of there. I don't know who's responsible for putting the Loctite on at Club Car, but they use a lot of it. So that one there was a little bit hard to get out, and I ended up stripping the head. And so I decided that I would go ahead. I had to drill out the bolt there, so but not too bad. So now I'm gonna take it off. Now these gotta come out of here first before you pull this off. They just 2 little clips. This little tool I got at Harbor Freight removes these little plastic rivets. You slide it up underneath the top of the rivet there and pop it out. Now that these rivets are removed, this will slide out here. You can see it's kind of tucked in underneath the body, so you kind of got to pick up on the back of it and pull straight out. And, like I said, wiggle it out of there. And it comes off, and you can see pretty filthy. It collects a lot of sand and gravel and just golf course grime. So I'll take this out, pressure wash it, and always look to see if this plastic's broken here or anything. It'll really only mounts with 1 screw. So I checked that out. I mean, I guess it mounts underneath there, underneath the battery box with another screw. But basically, sometimes I've taken these apart and this is broken right here. And at that point, I usually just put a big washer on both sides of it. So these trim pieces here, you gotta take that off. That's a 10mm, and these here are the larger Torx heads. I think it's a 40. I don't know, my Torx are so old, I just have Torx heads, and I grab the one that fits. These are split, so to take them off, you basically just lift them up and pull them out. And then this, now that I've taken these out, pull it kind of gently, because there's a little plastic clip right there that hooks into the body. The metal clip came out with it. And there's another one down here. And another one back here. And it just pops off. And it's probably the first one I've taken off that has all 4 of the metal clips on it, because I think they are pretty delicate. So that comes off. Both sides. Now that those are off, this rubber mat just lifts out of here. Kind of behind the cup holder, you gotta pull it down a little bit. Lifts up. There you go. Then you'll have 3 of the size 40 Torx head bolts to take out there along this deal. And before I take it out, I take a pick and go in here and get these tabs off and take that trim ring off of the charging port. Trim ring is off, so you got to take the trim ring off of that before this piece will come out, and then you got to take these 3 gnarly looking screws. Once those are out, this piece just kind of falls out of here, and that's what. And then I'll be taking this port out because I'm going to switch to lithium, and there's just 3 Phillips head screws in that. This is a 2021 wire for some of them I've run into have Torx heads. Remove this Torx screw from the top of the controller here. Pop it out and expose your wires. We're going to be taking off the charger, so we have to take let's see, this red wire off of here. This little red wire, not the thick one. The thick one is the one that powers the cart. And this red wire here. And disconnect this blue wire right here. Pull that out. Blue wire is out. And then this black wire goes over here to the negative terminal on the controller. And I usually take this wire off to get to that, and that's a 1/2 inch. Okay, now this is removed. So it's basically the red wire off the top of the solenoid. This little blue wire just pulls out with that bullet connector, and then that black wire comes off the B- on the controller. And you just do away with this whole thing. Now I'm going to take the front body off, and basically well, not basically, but I mean, there are only 4 screws in this trim ring here. When I take that off, that'll slip off, and I pull the body forward, and it just pops right off of there. These 4 screws are T20. I'm just taking the canopy off here. It's got 4 bolts. These are actually 10 millimeter on both sides. I have run into them where the nut is 10 millimeter and the head of the bolt is 8 millimeter, but this one happens to be 10 on both sides. So that trim ring's off. You can basically just grab this, start pulling. Usually they pop right off of there. There we go. This one's holding on for dear life, but if you want to be real technical about it, there's a little tab on them and you can push it in with a putty knife or something. All right, so now that that's off, there's a screw here, there, 5 screws around here, same size, T20. And I take those out, and then this whole thing will come off. That's usually as far as I take them down, and then I give them a good pressure washing. And honestly, they're super light when you get them to this point, so you take them out in the driveway, pressure wash them, actually turn them on their side, and pressure wash underneath the bottom of them. This is underneath the floor there is where the brake adjustment is, and there's an M-core switch in there. It is this little guy right here. I buy them directly from Club Car. They say the ones that you buy on Amazon don't work very well, and I did get this cart to charge enough to see that it was surging a little bit, so I will be replacing the M-core, which is underneath the floor. But that's pretty much tearing one down, getting ready to clean and start putting back together. So the pressure washing underneath and all of that, it just makes it so much easier to work on and not get dirt and dust in your eyes and everything, but also really cleans up the cart and gives you a chance to inspect again, see if there's anything broken, anything missing. Just really, to me, just helps me give it a good once over.